All right, let's go Brian Enton with Sheriff Nanos. Here we go.
I think what was most interesting is it very much. I know that you and the FBI were able to get those surveillance photos off the camera in the front of the house.
Yeah.
Any progress on the other cameras? Can you do the same thing?
Boy, I'm hopeful. Here's what happened.
Guy.
So we, of course, that camera we don't have, right? It was taken, removed from the scene, but we knew it existed, and we asked, I think it's Google, hey, what can you do with this? And we gave them the other cameras and asked the same, and they said, well, there's not a subscription here, and it is hard because it overwrites itself, right? I don't know how many hours, maybe it's every 36 or 72, whatever it is. But you know what, Sheriff, we'll try.
Probably some pertinent information to look into, right? Probably know when that DVR is overwriting. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, TJ says he consistently changes statements about the family. I want a reporter journalist to ask him this. Was Annie and Tommaso's car returned? If they're cleared, it would have been. If it hasn't, well, we heard today at the top of the report, and I don't know if you just got in here, no one has been cleared. But then we're hearing reports earlier that there were polygraphs that have cleared the family. I am confused. I am really confused. All right, let's go here.
Thank you. The way they went. They came back with this. And I'm going to try to explain this as a simple man that I am would.
Simple man. Oh, boy.
They explained it. It's like peeling paint. You have images over images over images, and you want to get to that 8th layer or the 6th layer, and you got to peel back very easily because you might destroy the layer you wanted. So they were able to do that. I said, oh, this is really, that piece of evidence. Oh, they kept it 10 days. No, we all sat here right in our command post with the FBI and went, this is really great stuff. We need this out there. So I don't know that it was here more than 2 hours, and it's only because we had to do some cutting of the way they sent it to us and prepare it to get out to the media, and had to check with Washington, all those things that the FBI had to do as well. And we got it out probably less than 2 hours. And it generated, in that first hour for us, just alone here at the department, almost 5,000 tips. So it's a great piece of evidence. So there's other cameras. Your question, will we get more? We've asked the Google, hey guys, can you do this? And they said the very same thing. Sheriff, we don't think we can get anything, but we'll try. And that's all we're hopeful.
And so as
I'm sorry. I just don't feel really confident right now. I just don't. Listening to this guy talk, I mean, like, when I hear Todd McGee come on this channel and give us his expertise, it is balls and strikes, straight to the camera, no bullshit. He's gonna tell you the answer, and he answers it in a very intelligent manner. When I have Nan Gallagher come up on this panel and answer my questions, my lawyerly questions, she gives you a straight answer. She looks into the camera and she gives you a straight answer. There's no fluff. There's no bullshit. Oy, this is like, I don't know. This is kind of painful. I mean, look at Brian Enton's body language. And again, I'm only speculating here, but I mean, come on. It's just, this is not good. This is not good.
Now it's still.
I don't mean to laugh.
It's
just not good.
Okay. Savannah Guthrie, Nancy's daughter, obviously very famous, loved around the country. Is this really random, or do you think someone may have had a grievance against Savannah? Have you been able to sort that out at all?
Well, yeah. Anything's possible, right? I mean, there was talk, well, this was a burglary gone bad. This was that. Those things have never come out of this office because we recognize that anything is possible, and we'll allow that evidence to show us what it is. The time to ask that question, motive, is when we actually know who's done this. And so, yeah, I get the speculation, but yeah, for me, I just looked at it and said from day one that Nancy was removed from her home against her will. We need to find her.
I know your deputies, detectives are working around the clock. I mean, we see them, you know. How long can this go on for in terms of the investigation at this level?
Because of the media, really, and that's a good thing, right? Because of the media, we've generated so many leads. I know last Wednesday we had 18,000 leads. The FBI had 14. So you're talking over 30,000. We're probably closer to 40 or 50,000. As long as those leads keep coming, we'll keep at
it. It's Frank. What was it? Frank Drebin? Frank Drebin? Was that the name? Leslie Nielsen played him, right? Was it Frank Drebin? Am I saying that right? Frank Drebin? Yeah, Frank Drebin. That's really good. No, Leslie Nielsen was the actor, but the guy in Naked Gun was Frank Drebin. That's good. That's good, Pretty Eyes. I like that. That was a good analysis. And Nan says, yes. What was it? When the baseball game, he kept calling strikes even when they were throwing balls. This is great.
I know you've said you can't, for the investigative reasons, talk about what you found in the house. But is there a lot in the house that you're not able to say? I mean, is there a lot of evidence we don't know about in terms of this being a crime?
No, again, you're asking me something that I can't talk about. I will tell you this. We removed some biological evidence, prints, DNA, whatever. All of that was removed and sent to the lab. We removed physical evidence, computers, phones, everything, anything we could.
Don't call me
and
Shirley.
That's submitted to another lab. That was given to the FBI. And why do we give it to the FBI? Because we know that they're very good at some of that stuff. And so we share with them that. Why did we give ours to our lab? Because it's what we've done for years, and our lab's always done well. In fact, we've used the FBI before. They're very good at solving things and doing things. But the FBI, not unlike our Department of Public Safety in Phoenix, they have a lab. They could have been used. But we look at it as this. If I use, for example, a state lab, DPS, or the federal lab, Quantico, you have to understand they have others using those labs too. And so it really puts a lot of strain on them to prioritize those.
Sir, I'm going to help you here. This is the most high profile case in America right now. You don't think that the FBI wouldn't get those samples and bump them right to the top? I mean, let's just logically think about this. I mean, this case is trending over the Epstein files right now. That's how much people are locked into this case. It's trending over the Epstein files at the moment. And not saying that those files in that case is not important. It's just as important, if not more. I mean, I don't want to give a 1A and a 1B here, but they're both very important. You don't think that they wouldn't? Hey, listen, this is the most high-profile case that's going on in America right now. Maybe we should probably bump this DNA evidence to the top and get it processed as quickly as possible, right? Right? All right,
cases and do what they can with them, where if I have my own lab or a contract lab, it allows me easier access to those cases that I think are important to us. And I'm not talking this case, I'm just talking cases in general. We could build a lab, but that's pretty expensive too. We just found that this lab we use is very good. Were they in Florida at the time? I have no idea. But I know that in today's world of technology, reports are generated and sent out in the flash of an eye. What we need to know is when we send something to a lab, can we get it back to us quickly? Can we have a rush order, if you will? Well, sometimes I want this now, but the FBI may say, well, we understand that, but New York has a crime, LA has a crime, so it's about, it's not
Oh my
against the
God.
labs. And so when this piece of evidence, we did what we normally do, we sent it to the lab and we did that scene. Then we went and did another scene when we did a search warrant out in Rio Rico. So all that was gone. Now we find a glove. The FBI says, oh, we can send it to Quantico. And I said, well, you know what? Let's keep it all in one place. Let's just send it all to our lab. No, it's not like no FBI's got a bad lab or no, the sheriff's department uses DNL, they're a bad lab. No, it is about keeping your evidence together in one spot. And when that report comes out, it goes to both agencies. It just made sense.
Brian's
in fact,
like,
all of this
right.
conversation I had with you, when they said, oh, the sheriff blocked evidence, this conversation I had with the FBI lasted probably a minute and a half, and they said, makes sense, Sheriff, and it was done. There's no blocking evidence or just crazy.
Let me ask you. Okay, we've seen the photos from the surveillance camera in the front of the man. Do you think there could be a second suspect?
You saw what I saw. We know he is a bad dude. He's who we want.
Oh,
Is there somebody else working with him? I don't know that. We'll know it when we find him.
The TMZ letters. I've lost count of how many they've received. TMZ, they've been received.
Hey, we know he's a bad dude, and we'll know it when we find him. This is some good old sheriff talk here.
These letters claiming that it's from someone involved.
So yeah, the ransoms type things or those kinds of letters.
And I know FBI is investigating that part, right?
Correct.
But do you think they're legit? Because it seems like every day they're on TV with a new letter.
Again, you want to go to your experts, right? It would be irresponsible
if I know.
to give my opinion on something that we've given to the FBI to look into. That's their bailiwick. We'll let them handle that.
And the search warrants, we saw the one in Rio Rico, and then we saw the one close to, I think, 2 miles from Nancy's house on Friday night. Does that mean that you all believe the suspect could be close? Because it seems like the action we're seeing so far is right in the Tucson area.
So how those develop is this, and you may see it today. It may not be anything today. You may see 5 of them today. But what happens is this. We have 400 investigators out there from all agencies, not just in this valley, the 10 different law enforcement agencies, but some from Phoenix and FBI from across the country. And they're out there shaking down leads, 40-some thousand leads. Every morning they get up and they're working 24/7. So they start with a little lead and they're told, go check on this. And that lead develops. And as they move through it, it grows and grows like a snowball, just getting bigger and bigger to a point where they go, you know what? I think we've developed a person of interest. I think we've got something here that maybe we need to go back and brief on. So they come back in and they talk to the command post who's there. U.S. attorney, county attorneys, different law people behind different areas of law who sit back and discuss it and say, you know what, maybe there's enough here for a search warrant. Maybe we got to get petition for physical characteristics. Maybe that characteristic is a photo. Maybe it's buckle cells. Maybe it's finger, whatever it is. And we present it to a judge. And a judge says, yeah, I think there's enough. He signs it. That's how that snowballs. And everybody's energetic and they're so enthused. I wish you could see the face
Thank you,
of
Michael.
the young men and women out there who are working these and all the energy, because it's what happens in investigations, particularly bigger investigations, where they're so excited, probably like you are. We've got a good lead, we're going to, and then it falls through. It's not the person. Nancy's not at that house. But that's part of the ebbs and flows of an investigation. You're going to have those highs and lows. So for me, that's what's important, that I dispel some of the things that are out there so my team knows that, no. They're a solid team. This is a team who solves crime every day. They are my experts. I would be silly to not listen to them. When they tell me we spent 20 some hours at this scene, we processed this scene, I'm taking their word that they're good. I don't need to hear from some pundit out there who's never done a crime scene. I don't need to hear from somebody who's never done a criminal investigation. I've got experts. That's who I choose to listen to. Just like the noise in the background, the critics who want to run for office. Go ahead,
Oh.
go do that stuff. I just want to find Nancy. I want my team focused every morning. When they hit that low, that they know that they have someone who believes in them and their work. They're going to do it. I have 100% faith.
Yeah, Mimi, you don't think that Brian Enton walked out of there and just privately said inside his head, this guy's a fucking moron? You know what I mean? Again, I'm not speaking for Brian Enton. Brian Enton's great. But you don't think that he probably walked out in that hallway as he's walking to his car and he's like, this guy's a fucking moron? I don't feel confidence in this at all. And I kind of feel like now that everything's been so fucked up in this investigation. I mean, we're 18 days in and we heard, oh, I'm in charge. I'm the sheriff. I'm in charge. And, fuck the FBI. I think it's gotten so over his head now that he's kind of had to fold and give it to the FBI, because you kind of feel like he's backing out a lot way now. Oh, we got to give it to the FBI, the FBI, the FBI. Now he's like, oh shit, this is kind of over our head. And now it's probably like, I don't want to be blamed for all this. And I still, and someone was asking me about Anna's case, that I feel like, or Annie's case, I feel like that there were many, 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 many mistakes made right away in this case. Many mistakes. And the worst one was not closing off that crime scene. Why was that crime scene not closed off right away? Why was that crime scene not closed off right away? Why is there no yellow tape down there on day 18? There should have been tape out there on the very first day that we found out that this lady was taken. And we've allowed people to walk entirely through that crime scene, fucking delivery drivers. We've had maintenance people out there, different people from the sheriff department. We have locals walking up the driveway. We've had Amazon drivers, pizza delivery guys, the pool guy. We've had a maintenance worker. I heard something about a locksmith going there. And that is the worst thing that you can do in a missing person or any type of investigation, any type of potential crime scene, to not close it off. You want to hear about a crime scene that wasn't closed off and so much evidence that got fucked up? Go watch my material on the Karen Reed trial. That is the number one mistake right away. If you're not closing off a crime scene, you are freaking contaminating it right away. And that's what slows down evidence, especially today where we rely on so much DNA evidence in scenes. It's got to be closed off. And it still should be closed off down there. And people have just been able to walk through and come and go and do whatever they want. Doesn't make sense to me.
They will solve this case. If you were the guy, if you were that monster, you should be worried.
Ooh.
You should let her go. Just let her go.
Are you getting closer?
I think we are. But I have to have that belief, right? I have to have that faith. Every day.
We'll
keep at it.
Amen, Michael.
Appreciate the sheriff for making the time to talk with me. Again, I know
eyes.
he's done a lot of media interviews, and I was glad that I was able to get one of them today, and that was on News Nation, of course. And hopefully I'll get more opportunities to talk to him in the future.
Does Brian look confident? And again, I'm just making an observation. I am not speaking for Brian Enton at all, but does he look confident that this was a great interview? Look at him rolling his eyes. I'm so glad that we got that interview, and I hope I get to talk to him again. He's not even looking at the camera. Let's rewind and look at that. Watch Brian when he comes out of this interview.
Every day, we'll keep at it. We ain't quitting.
Appreciate the sheriff for making the time to talk with me. Again, I know he's done a lot of media interviews, and I was glad that I was able to get one of them today, and that was on News Nation, of course. And hopefully I'll get more opportunities to talk to him in the future, because like I told him, there were some things that he didn't like about some of my reporting, and I always want to get both sides, so I'm happy to have him respond to what some people are saying about being critical of his the way he's been handling the case. And I always like to get both sides, so hopefully I'll get more opportunities to interview him. I want to go back to what I was telling you guys about the DNA and the fact that the FBI says that there were no links in CODIS. What I found particularly interesting about that is that the FBI told us that. I mean, why would they give us a small update like that? Why would they need to tell the public and the media that there were no specific links in CODIS? I went to my friend, retired FBI agent Steve Moore, to talk to him about that and some of the other updates that came today in the case.